All right, questions for Bryce Boettcher. Start right here, front left, James.
Bryce, one of the things that's changed since the time you played him in October is their interior O-line obviously has a couple of changes there. What have you seen from 51, 67, 77, just compared to what you were preparing for a couple of months ago?
Yeah, obviously it's not the same guys, but they're talented and play good football. So we just got to come ready to play and do what we do.
We're going back right, Aaron.
How motivated is this defense to kind of prove that you guys can perform a little bit better than you did in that Big Ten championship game, and what has the preparation for that been like?
Yeah, we're motivated. Same preparation as we had in the Big Ten as we're going to have for this game. We believe in ourselves, and you'd like to stop every single team to 5 rushing yards every single game, but that's not going to happen. But like I said, same preparation we've always had. Nothing changes, and just being the most physical team in practice, and then it'll translate over to the game.
Back left, Matt.
Coaches, players always talk about striving every week to be better than you were the previous week. Where is this team better defensively for you guys since this last meeting between Ohio State?
I'd say just communication and physicality. Those are the 2 biggest things on defense, making sure you're aligned right and adjusted right to what the offense is doing. And then once the ball is snapped, just being the most physical team. And, we preached in practice, and it shows up in practice. So I'm excited for this upcoming game.
Middle left, John.
Yeah, what are some of the challenges in stopping the Ohio State offense? They moved the ball pretty well in the last matchup. What makes them tough to contain?
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons, They got 2 really good backs, some good wideouts, good quarterback. I mean, they're all around. They're a solid team. So you just got to game plan and do what you best to, eliminate those players. But at the end of the day, we play sound football on defense. We communicate, and we're the tougher team. We're going to come out victorious.
Front left, Zach.
Growing up in Eugene as an Oregon fan, obviously the importance of the Rose Bowl. This game likely means something to you. What is it like? Just how big is that for you that you get to play in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day?
Yeah, it's huge, man. You dream of this game. It's like I said, what you dream of, and I'm pumped to get to do it with this team in this circumstance, especially getting to play Ohio State again. I was hoping we're going to get them again, and obviously we are. So I'm pumped and looking forward to it.
Back middle, Brett.
Bryce, just how important has this bye week been for you guys, especially considering the longer season, the implications of what that means? How important was this for you guys just to get healthy and kind of game plan for Ohio State?
Yeah, it's super important, especially when you have an extra week or 2 to game plan. Obviously, we didn't know our opponent till recently, but it's huge to especially get your body back, get your mind right. And I was telling Coach B Mike today, it's like when you don't put the pads on, we had 3 days here to decompress a little bit, and then you put them back on. It feels like it's, Christmas. The love of the game is just instant, and at least for me personally, it feels amazing to get back out on the field, and I can't wait.
Back right, Aaron.
Growing up as a Ducks fan, I'm interested to know if you watched that 2010 Rose Bowl game and if you remember anything about it, and if you're carrying any of that passion from being a Ducks fan growing up watching that game into this Rose Bowl.
2010 was against Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
I was at that game, which is kind of crazy. It was the only Rose Bowl game I've ever been to. My parents took me. I was little, so I don't remember a whole lot of it. I remember tailgating a little bit before and then sitting in our seats, and it felt like we were a mile away. But obviously, to come back now and be playing in it, it's certainly special. And, we're planning on ending this one a little bit different.
Second row on the left, Chris.
Yeah, just what's it like playing with Jamar Caldwell in front of you, and what are some of the things that he brings to the table that maybe don't show up in the stat sheet?
Yeah, dude's a beast. Every time before the game, I'll be behind him. I was like, I'm stacking you all game, Jamari, because he doesn't get a lot of recognition that he deserves, but man, he eats up those double teams like crazy, and it makes my job easy. It makes me be able to run through those gaps with ease. A great teammate, great guy off the field, so I just love having him on my side.
Back left, Matt.
Bryce over here, how big of a benefit, or is it a big deal at all to play an opponent twice in a single season? It doesn't happen in college football all that often. How big of a deal is that?
I think people have this misconception that when you play a team twice, it's harder to beat them twice. Maybe if we're playing baseball, that might be the case, but I think football is a little different. When you beat a team, there's definitely a psychological aspect, knowing that, they've obviously already lost when we've already won. And we obviously covered that a little today in the team meeting. But I'm excited for this game, and nothing changes. We're just gonna go out and do what we do, and yeah.
Back middle, Brett.
Kind of going back on the theme of Christmas, during this time of the season, we always hear about players, giving gifts and receiving gifts. I'm just wondering really quickly, was there any sort of unique gifts that the team or that your teammates gave you or that you gave them, obviously this past week for the Christmas holiday?
Yeah, no sort of unique ones this year, but I think everyone's biggest gift we can give each other is winning this Rose Bowl, and I think everyone's bought into that. So that's going to be the team gift from everyone. It's a Rose Bowl win.
Front left, James.
In terms of opposing quarterbacks, Howard's probably the most efficient and accurate you guys have played or could play going the rest of the way. What makes him so effective? What makes him a challenge?
I think he just plays old. He knows what he's got to do in his scheme, and he executes. So whether it's him or coaching, you got to give him credit for what he does. That doesn't mean that we can't go in and disrupt that, which we plan to do.
Back
so I'm
left.
excited.
Sorry, Bryce. Back left, Matt.
Bryce, can you speak to Jeff's just impact on defense this season that he's had and playing alongside him, just seeing his growth?
Yeah, man. The dude's a leader. He's very vocal. He gets our defensive line adjusted, which is good to be right next to him. I can we just feed off each other. He does that aspect, and I'm kind of the presence, run to the ball aspect, and I think we feed off each other in a good manner. And he's a good teammate, a good guy to get with off the field, and just his football knowledge and IQ is really high. So we, like I said, we like to bounce ideas off each other, and I've learned a lot from that guy.
We're going to go to the Zoom. Ryan Clark, if you can unmute yourself.
Hey, Bryce. Just following up on Jeff, what are some of the memories for you that stand out with him as a teammate over the years? Obviously, he's a vocal guy. He's kind of a jokester, but what stands out for you?
I'd probably say is every game before we go into 7-on-7, we have like a little indie and a linebacker talk beforehand, and he's a spokesperson during that, and he has some pretty good pump up pregame, which I can't really go into depth about what he says in those conversations, but he's good in that regard, and he's my roommate on the road, so we've definitely had some pretty good memories in our room together. And again, I probably can't go into depth about what all that is about, but no, yeah, he's a good dude, good teammate.
Scott Reed, if you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hey, Bryce, real quick. Not many people will have experience in the playoffs with both baseball and football. How much do you think that helps you mentally preparing? Because you've been there and understand the last game mentality. It's not another chance, like you said earlier.
Yeah, certainly. I think it'll help me play old and understand that, you don't have to do too much. You just got to do your job and execute. It's I was thinking about that today in the team meeting, and just having been in those big games for baseball, and been in a spot where it's win or go home, or one at bat or go home. And I think it definitely helps slow you down in those big games, and I'll certainly use that to my advantage a couple days from now.